They've sent me back again. I'm here. So I got 2 tarot decks and I got an oracle deck. And while I shuffle them, I'll tell you why. So with this tarot deck, we're beginning with the 4 of Cups. An opportunity being handed to you. There's a possibility of missing it. You're not really paying attention. Maybe because you're like down in the dumps. You're in a place of self-pity or woe is me. Look what's happened. Nothing good ever happens to me. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, you got like these 3 cups in front of you, which could be about something celebratory, something very, very positive. Could be about finding something that had been lost, something being returned to you, reuniting with somebody, that would really be pleasing to you, emotionally pleasing and make you happy, but you're not noticing, and you're not even noticing this 1 cup that's being like literally handed to you, which is like an Ace of Cups, right? A single cup. Just because you're just too deep into this place of, like wallowing in self-pity. Now, you may have a lot on your plate, and so you may feel like you have a right to wallow in self-pity. Like, I got so much to do. I got so much work. Everybody's so dependent on me. I got to be so responsible. I'm carrying everyone's load. Do you have to carry everyone's load, though? That's a question we should be asking ourselves. And then here we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So the reason I have these tarot decks is because I was guided to do a crossbred. And I did one. I was guided to do one for myself earlier, and I did one. And then I was guided to do one for the collective, for you guys, or for all of us. And when I did mine, as I was doing it, I had been guided to, how I do the placements for the higher self and the lower self, or the 3D and the 5D, and I use 1 deck. So I was guided to use, I used the 1 deck for my reading, but I was guided to make 2 placements. So it's like my higher self and my masculine's higher self. My lower self and my masculine's lower self, because we might not be going through the same things in either place, or we could be mirroring. So because of that, particularly the possibility of mirroring, when doing it for you guys or for all of us together collectively, I said I should use 2 separate tarot decks just in case, it's the same cards that want to come out. So look, this is what somebody is really thinking about, and so they can't think about anything else or do anything. They're just like stuck in this place where nothing's happening, because there's a relationship, a connection. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it very possibly is with the 2 of Cups. But it could be like another one of your close sort of 7th house type relationships, BFF, familial, parent-child, something that's not going quite right. So we're going to take a look using the crossbred, and we're going to use 2 decks for the placements of 5D and 3D. And I have my look at that, 4 of Wands. Behind it is this stress and anxiety, though. This is what we're stressing over. We want happiness and contentment, in a relationship, in our home, in our household. We want joy in our life, period. And there's stress happening over about it. So we got that. So the Oracle deck will be, if you decide to clarify anything, I'll use the Oracle deck. I did not use an Oracle deck in my own reading. Just the 1 tarot deck. I used this one. Anyway, for this deck, we're starting with the Knight of Cups. And there's a 4 of Pentacles on it. So we wanted to take some sort of action involving something, possibly connected to relationships or love, something emotional. We wanted to make a move towards something, but we may not, because this thing that we're holding on to is likely something of which we need to let go before we're able to do that. It might even be connected to the 10 of Wands. Like, we got to lay down those burdens in order to free ourselves up to be able to move on to the next thing. So we got this 4 of Pentacles, which is normal. I mean, it can be, in some cases, it can be a positive thing, like maybe about like stacking chips of paper, as they say, saving your money, not being reckless. But it's often from at least in my readings, it's often more about continuing to do something, whether it's a relationship or be in a situation, whether it's a relationship or a living condition or a situation or a job or something that is unfulfilling. And you know it's unfulfilling. You know you're not getting what you're worth, for being there, for putting up with the situation. You know you are deserving of much more, but you are settling basically. And you are holding on to this old thing, whatever it is, because holding on to the old thing is easier. And probably taking on the old thing was easier too than, the energy, the work that it takes to make really wonderful things work. Really great relationships take work. Really great businesses that we want to start, entrepreneurship takes work. It takes a lot of effort. Really great positions at a job working for somebody else takes work. They got to be impressed with us, when it doesn't take nepotism or something like that. It takes work. So it's easier to just take the job where I don't really have to do anything. I can do this job in my sleep and not put any effort into it. I can be in this relationship, I don't have to give anything at all. This other person requires so much of me. They sort of force me to grow as a person too. I don't want to do all that. You know what I mean? So, that's what the Four of Pentacles tends to mean for me in my readings. Anyway, behind that we have the Knight of Wands, which is another card of action. And the Queen of Swords, who is no nonsense and is about that action. Action that she often takes is to, straighten things or people on out. Sometimes called the Feng Shui Queen by, practitioners who've been around the block a few times. Also, cutting people, places, things out of her life that don't serve her is often the action. Now, in this case, it could be actually, like I said, tied to work. The Wands cards are often connected to something having to do with work or career. So letting go of the job that doesn't bring us emotional fulfillment and doing the work that would make us happy, or owning our own business, that's something that will make us happy, but that's going to take the effort. Just an example. It could be different things for different people, opening from there to the Ace of Swords. So a new beginning that is wanting to start, as I guessed, but we do have to likely let go of that old thing first in order for it to start. And here we have another, it's not the Ace of Swords, it's Major Arcana card Justice, but it's another soul sword, being held up in the air. So I think that this balance is necessary also for that Ace of Swords to happen, that new beginning to happen. Something needs to be restored. The scales have to be evened out. There needs to be equity and fairness in a situation. There needs to be give and take. Libra energy, of course, coming up with that. Here's a Three of Cups. So celebrating a win, maybe celebrating having received that justice. And we got Major Arcana card, the Fool. I'll cut. Overall energy, now the Moon in reverse, as well as the Page of Swords, and everything is fine. So we could feel like everything is not fine, maybe particularly in the area of finances and or something having to do with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and maybe a family matter or a relationship matter as well. We could be wondering how this earth sign feels about us, maybe, for example. And with the Ten of Cups, they feel the same way that you do. And it's not something that you should be worried about. But we could be feeling like everything's not fine, like we're paranoid, or, you know, they're mad at us, or we're feeling mad at them, and maybe we don't even know why. We're just figuring everything's not fine, but everything again is fine. It's just that messages and information that could be coming into us, we may be having trouble interpreting those messages. So when the moon shows up, even in reverse, it is a particularly strong, your intuition and things are particularly strong when the moon shows up. That's one of the things it shows up to tell us. But in reverse, despite the strength of your intuition, of your psychic abilities in general, maybe you have others, other than the intuition, despite all that, you still may not be clear about what is this message trying to say. And you might even not, you may even miss some of the messages. It could be like Four of Cups, like the message is right there in front of your face and you're not seeing it when the moon shows up. Moon represents the sign of Pisces, possibly. So Pisces is possibly involved. Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And again, Knight of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. With this Twin Flame Oracle deck, we're beginning with split energy, options, unfocused, multitasking, decide what you really want. And I do think we're all being presented with a lot of options right now. I keep seeing the Emperor. I keep seeing the Empress. I know I am heavy Empress energy right now. The other day, in one day, it was the same day, 2 Facebook friends emerged. One that I don't know in person at all. One that I've literally known all my life, or since I was a very small child, because he grew up in my building. Telling me they had a crush on me. It's Empress. You know what I mean? Like with the Empress energy, people come out the woodwork, whether it is romantically or friendship wise, just because they're drawn to your vibe, or for a job, you can get a call. Hey, well, we're looking to hire you for this job. You're like, what do you mean? I didn't even apply. Like, what the hell are you talking about? It's that kind of energy. And I keep seeing the Empress and the Emperor actually over and over. Home, soulmate. The home card says cozy, warm, secure. You feel at home with each other. I didn't read the soulmate one. This is chaser, in pursuit. Convincing, rejection. Let them go and let it be. This is suggesting we don't chase, of course. Inner child, material world. My former neighbor actually literally told me he was going to chase me. Well, no, not that he was going to chase me. I'm chasing you, is what he said. He's actively chasing me now. It's so weird to me. I mean, I guess, having known him all this time and not knowing that. I guess that was why I was meant to look at that inner child card. It was jumping out at me then. See, I didn't get the message. Like, it was saying, stop here, stop on me. And it ended up here anyway. Playful, happy, enjoy the present moment, and live life to the fullest. So, whatever's happening in your life right now, just go with the flow and let it happen. Material world, money, career, status, third dimension, make your mark. Hidden path, detour, slow down, explore, and go in a new direction. Also, transformation, breakthrough, reinvention. You're ready for the next level. Those with yes or no questions in their mind, the answer to your question is no. All right, let's get to this cross spread. All right, so I'll use the Rider-Waite deck. Primarily, and then I think because I like the four, I like the overall energy, right? The Four of Wands. I'll use this deck, and then only for, like I said, for the placements of the higher self and the 3D, I will use the moon and, use the Modern Witch Tarot and the clarifications, if any, the, what's that thing called? Twin Flame Oracle. What's wrong with me all of a sudden? Jesus. Okay, here we go. And then the love placement. I'll put the love placement over here today. Four of Wands. The moon. Near future. Recent past, sorry. Recent past. 10 of Swords in reverse. Maybe this is why we don't think everything's fine. Because there, something did occur. There was an event where we felt that we were backstabbed, or another person in our life felt that they were backstabbed by us, or both. The feeling is mutual. Betrayed, hurt, traumatized in some form. And that could have left us feeling a little upside down. King of Wands in reverse can also be a person, especially a male or masculine energy, that can be helpful to you. So maybe somebody that can help you to get out of this funk, or somebody has helped you to get out of this funk recent past, or this sort of energy coming in to help you to feel better. And it looks like it works when that happens, because then we have the 5 of Pentacles also in reverse. So obviously upright, the 5 of Pentacles is a card, just feeling like somebody has shunned you. It's a feeling, it's literally meant to depict being left out in the cold. All the people are warm inside there, enjoying Pentacles, and this woman and it's like a young child are outside in the cold. This can also be like when you feel somebody's giving you, like feeding you breadcrumbs, as they say. They give you a little, just enough to keep you hanging on. And then when that runs out, it's like crack, like, can I get another hit? And, they play with you. It's mind games and bullshit. And they're like, okay, well, before they leave, let me give them another little tiny piece. Because I want them to stick around. I don't want them to go completely. That can be another reason why, this card shows up this way. But in reverse is moving beyond that. If there was a financial issue, we're ending up on the other side of that, where money is, again, becoming an available resource to us and things like that. Near future. So just feeling sort of like we've been through it, but still not wanting to give up. Maybe feeling like we don't have much left to give, but still not wanting to give up. And with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, what we have put into this situation is fine. We're about to get, like, what we put in, we're about to get that back out of it. So, and it looks like what we've put in is something positive, because the other card is the 6 of Wands. So something successfully pays off after some time. It could definitely be financial. As can this, again, recent past, this near future. Recent past we had trouble. Some energy comes in, a fire energy or inspired by fire. It could be Mars in Aries itself, or even Jupiter or something. If it's not an actual person, but it's possible that it's an actual person, and again, an actual male and or masculine energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes, comes in, helps us, and then we continue with that energy of fire and wands, that somehow we're motivated not to give up. We don't want to give up. We've been working on this for a while. We've been waiting for a while. These seeds, we're starting to feel like, is anything going to grow? Were the seeds dead? Like, what happened? But finally does pay off, and in a big way, it looks like, with the Six of Wands upright. So for the feminine higher self, what message do they want to give us? Letting go of that thing we're holding on to is required, again, for forward movement. And we may feel, until we are able to let it go, because the Hangman is often about letting go too. And again, it's often like not an actual person or thing. Typically, it is more emotional, letting go of some sort of belief system or ideology, or like something like negative emotions, regret, resentment, the inability to forgive or to move on, like all the letting go of those things, and that will give way for wish fulfillment, right? To come in, something that we've been trying to manifest, something we've been working on, finally coming through with the Star. Major Arcana card. The Star represents the sign of Aquarius most directly, and it could have to do with relationship too. I know a lot of people are looking for relationship stuff, but it's possible if you let go of something, like I said, that is keeping you from that relationship, and it may be a belief system or practice or something that you're holding on to. Let go of that, and the relationship that you wanted, where you keep pouring into someone or something, and it doesn't seem like anything's pouring back to you. But you see in this card, yes, and not only are two vessels being poured in, but they're connected. So one refills the other. Masculine. Yours is the Five of Cups. So there is disappointment. Something didn't go right. Something didn't go your way or as you expected it or in your favor. And I'm getting like you may be feeling guilty, like it's your fault that it didn't. There was something you could have done, or something that you did that you shouldn't have, that you could have avoided doing. I feel like you were, I don't want to say manipulating. Well, that might be the word. Is there such a thing as innocently manipulating? I don't think that you were trying to be an asshole. I'm not getting that. But I do feel like you were trying to control the situation and make things go a certain way. And I guess that's still manipulation. Even if there wasn't like evil intent behind it. And whatever, it didn't work. What you were trying to do did not work, and you feel like you have messed this situation up, possibly beyond repair, and that's not true, because if you would just turn around, you see the two of Cups are standing there, and it may have been like you reunited with somebody with the Three of Cups. Three of Cups can be about reuniting. Or had some sort of second chance with, if not with someone, with something, like something, some opportunity came back around to you, and I don't know, you didn't make proper use of the opportunity. And I think you allowed like ego to get in the way of you doing whatever, ego or pride. Whether it was, again, a relationship, or it could have been connected to something else, a job or something, some sort of opportunity came back around to some of you. is what I'm getting. And yeah, you didn't. But if you would just turn around, you would see that there was these two cups here, still standing upright. So, and they're still full, right? We can still see that there's something in them, and they're full. And so you still have another chance to make it right. And for a bunch of us, it does have to do with a relationship specifically, and not only a relationship, but like a soulmate connection. Like a true match with the Lovers. Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers showing up represents the sign of Gemini most directly. So you could be involved with a Gemini, or the planet Mercury may be involved in that play. Where's Mercury right now? Mercury is in Gemini right now. I think moves into Cancer soon, as does Venus. Venus moves into Cancer this week, actually, which is another one of Gemini's rulers. So that could be what's going on too. Venus is also the goddess and planet of love. So that could be what is driving this. Yeah, so I think, especially after that, is that the 19th? Maybe the 19th. I remember there were two major planetary events that would shift energy happening on the 19th. It may be, as a matter of fact, I think Mercury is not in Gemini. I think it's in Cancer, and I think it moves into Leo, and I think Venus moves into Cancer. Anyway, in whatever case, I believe that something's happening this week that could really be behind this energy, but whether that's the case or not, there is opportunity for you to fix this, and you have to be open to receiving, masculine. You have to learn how to receive, how to not control, how to be open to allowing somebody to love you, to give you. And, how do you get there? You probably say, well, what does that mean? Like, how do I do that? It is going to begin with you, you showing yourself that love. And even that may sound easier said than done. But there's even ways to work on manifesting, through this love that we have for ourselves, by writing it down, by repeating affirmations when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night, when you're in the shower, making sure that you are using loving words and thoughts about yourself, and that will attract it from other people as well. Okay, and then, you'd be open to receiving it. You got 2 6s, and 6s are about love too. You got Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers, and you got the 6 of Pentacles, which is about assistance from the universe too. It's very timely assistance, like right on time when you need it. That support shows up for you almost miraculously. And specific to love, it is about equity and equality and reciprocity and give and take, right? And both people exchanging, pouring into each other, like we saw with the feminine star card. Right, so the feminine's 3D life, lower self message. Moving out of a place where we're feeling stuck, finally, maybe stepping out of fear, being more willing to take chances, which is good. We got our own 6 of Pentacles in reverse, which, does look to kind of be mirroring the masculines, right? Crossing the masculines. If we were playing tic-tac-toe, we could possibly win. Let's hear with the Queen of Cups. So the feminine could also do with some additional self-love. Because yes, we have this, so we're braver, we're thinking more clearly, and we know what we have to do, or we know we have to do something at least, in order to move, from a situation that we're in. But with the Queen of Cups in reverse, it's very possible that we're not showing ourselves love, not nurturing ourselves, not pouring into ourselves, and possibly having no one else pour into us either. Our energy is just being sucked and used up and not replenished, and that's not what we want. But we have to also be able to give and receive. Now, often the feminine's problem is being the giver. Too much giving, and if you're giving, and you're giving to somebody who's unable to receive, to not open to receiving, I mean, that's our problem. That's why things are not working. Right? So we both have to, you can work on it from your end, and he can work on it from his. Masculine's lower self, or 3D self. We have a star, so this too is mirroring. How do you like that? We got the star. So wish fulfillment. We got another 4 of cups, but this time it's in reverse. So this is like, okay, I'm ready to get up and do something about it now. And, go after the other, pay attention to the options that are coming to me. And it's doing it right on time because wish fulfillment wants to come in. So it's a good time to pay attention. And then we have the sun. The sun is in reverse. Could still be about clarity. Could still be a very positive card. So something being illuminated. He's having maybe a small revelation. It might not be like, a tremendous like aha moment, but some clarity where, okay, I'm beginning to see what I need to do. And that may be what causes him to stand up. In matters of love, a break may be over. He may be deciding that a break is over and he's going to make a move now. So if you've been in separation, you've been on a break, that coming up. At the heart of the matter, we do have the Knight of Cups. Okay, Knights are about action. So this is somebody who's wanting to make some sort of move, but is feeling overwhelmed possibly by his emotions and or love. And so he may not make that move immediately. It may take a little bit of time. We have not only the Knight of Cups in reverse, but the 8 of Wands in reverse. So there's one to be moving, but it's delayed for some reason. Could be delayed because of a retrograde. That's possible. Or again, just because the masculine has to first take a little bit of time to open himself up to receiving love, and it does show that he's working on that, though, or working on something, working on himself, trying to improve a situation. And then specific to love, we have the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is about distrust, or it's often about distrust. So it's a good thing they're not coming in, because even messages that maybe we're exchanging between each other, like the other person doesn't, they may want to believe you, they don't really, and that's because, again, I think because we have to first work on ourselves in both cases with this star, 6 of Pentacles, both the masculine and the feminine, we are mirroring each other. We're both in the same energy of needing self-love, self-care, self-nurturing. So work on your own stuff and take some time to, to be lighthearted, playful, in the moment, living your life in the meantime, like if there is still a pause before you come together. But let's see what might be crossing these cards here at the middle. And it's the Ace of Pentacles that wants to come through. So again, this work that's being put in, I mean, it's a male figure or masculine energy on the card, but this, I only have one deck, one pile for the heart of the matter. So this applies to both. And I think, especially since we're mirroring each other, it's appropriate that it applies to both. So there does this, again, seem to be a pause, but this is what's on the other end of it. The Ace of Pentacles. So whether it is a relationship for you, or again, it's a financial matter, a job, your career, something, there's a new beginning that is abundant on the other end of this work. And let's do the love also. 3 of Pentacles reverse. So even with the pause again, and whether you know each other a long time or you are just meeting and you're just wondering, like, especially if you know each other a long time, you'll be saying, like, what is taking so long for us to get to the next level, for, you know, us to move to the next stage? I've done all this inner work. I've done all this shadow work. I've had the dark night of the soul. Like, well, what else do I have to do? This is about collaboration. This is about creation, co-creation, wanting to do things together, wanting to build together, wanting to work together. But yeah, it taking time to actually build. And in the meantime, feeling or being comforted perhaps by the fact that the other person in the collaboration or with whom you would like to collaborate or compromise and work with feels about you the same way you do about them and sees you as somebody that they could, you know, be successful with. Again, whether it's a business matter or a matter of the heart. Why don't we go ahead and take one of these for each pile. So for the recent past, we do have soulmate, compatibility, companionship, your best life partner. So as a reminder, there was something went wrong with that soulmate connection, where there was a feeling of betrayal or backstabbing or trauma that we're beginning to move beyond. Energy has shifted, beginning to move beyond, but this did happen in the recent past. Near future, we got chaser, because we're getting impatient. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I don't know how much more I can put into this. I'm getting impatient. So something does begin to come again. Something does begin to move. And you do get to begin to receive what you put into this successfully. So maybe this is specifically talking to the feminine, who is typically the chaser, but a male or masculine can also be the chaser. Joining the female's message from the higher self: regret, remorse, life regrets, loss. Start making more empowered choices. Was it the feminine that I was talking about when I said I felt like, I think it was the masculine I was talking about. Felt like they had some part in it, like they shouldn't have done something or they should have done something. But perhaps, again, since we're mirroring, the feminine is feeling this sort of thing too. I could have done this differently. I could have done that differently. And I'm not going to say don't start making empowered choices. I mean, of course, start making empowered choices. But I will say do, again, let go of negative emotions and things like remorse and regret and feelings of loss or guilt or blame or judgment, because those are, the Four of Pentacles type things that hold us back. From the masculine's higher self, solitude. He does need time alone. This is a hermit mode while he gets this together. Retreat, introspection, silence to go deep within yourself. That's good, because again, you need to do that nurturing, that self-nurturing. So we got to consider the placements too. The feminine has to do this now, or is doing this now. This is her 3D placement. The masculine's higher self is telling him, look, brother, get with this. I mean, as above, so below. It's going to happen here too, but it hasn't necessarily happened in, real life for the masculine yet. Anyway, 3D life for the feminine. We have denial. So it's sitting here under your regret. Something that you're not looking at properly. You're not wanting to face the actual situation. Repressed emotions, rejection, and being unable to see below the surface. Based on the cards that were positive, including the everything is fine card that doesn't look positive, this could mean that you're that you're in denial about things actually being okay. Like you're you're in your head being regretful and remorseful and guilty and judgmental for no reason when you need to let that go and move forward. For the masculine's 3D, he needs to receive. Isn't this what I said? The masculine has to learn to receive. Boom. Be open-minded so that you can be abundant. Be ready. It is your time to receive, masculine. And again, your wish fulfillment wants to come in. Something that you've been trying to manifest wants to come in, but you have to be able to receive it. At the heart of the matter, we have home. And that really goes well with the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles can often in tarot be about an actual new home, like building structure. This could be moving into together or entering some sort of commitment or higher level of commitment that already exists between you. Cozy, warm, secure. You feel at home with each other. This is what we're working toward. And then specific to love, we have release. Loosen your hold on the situation. Remember, we've got to be patient. Threes are about patience. Change is happening, but we have to let it happen. In the meantime, be in the moment and release the things that you're holding on to that are holding you back from what you want. Loosen your hold, relax, unwind, release fear, anxiety, and doubt. So let go of all those negative emotions. Any advice for the feminine? The advice is fear. We see that she has that here. Darkness, hesitation, insecurity. Know that you're protected, feminine. Everything is fine. Remember, like the card said. So you have to keep telling yourself that anytime you feel one of these negative emotions. No, everything is fine. I'm protected. Let me go on with my life while things are transpiring. Keep reminding yourself that can be your affirmation. And masculine for you, karmic partner. Right? And I think that this is showing up like as opposed to soulmate, karmic partner. So like the karmic, something that you have to work out there. And again, that karmic partner can be a karmic romantic partner, or maybe it's like a karmic business partner, somebody in your coworker, somebody in your job, somebody in your family that is blocking you from your abundance. Conventional relationship, duty bound, something that you feel tied to, like in an unhealthy way, maybe. Also possibly bound by societal conventions because society says this is how it should be. You should be working for someone else. You go to school and you study and then you get this job and you work for somebody else. That's what society says to do. It says don't necessarily, run out and start your own business, especially not spiritually based or something like that. But of course, we know what it means with relationship too. You got a karmic relationship. From the looks of it, you're not happy there. And you could be a lot happier somewhere else with a soulmate. And maybe because you realize that is where the 10 of Swords came from. What the trauma caused. But if you deal with this situation, that's your advice. Deal with that situation and maybe face some things from your inner child. Get over this connection to the material world. Don't be afraid to travel the hidden path or go down the road less traveled, the harder situation rather than settling for the easy deal. And allow yourself, to experience transformation. So that 7 of Swords is about, again, possibly. One thing is distrust, but one thing is about, sort of like returning in this, and being the same person. Sometimes that's good, Sometimes it's nice to say, wow, you haven't changed a bit. I'm so happy. And we can just pick up where we left off. And sometimes it's like, oh man, you haven't changed a bit. Like, this is happening again. You haven't grown past this yet. You haven't worked through that inner child issue yet. So it depends which one is appropriate for you. But, you know, where you need to allow for death and transformation, allow for death and transformation. And that's what I have for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. Namaste.